Okay, welcome. All praises and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And also, I'd like to say shalom to the Akim, sincerely pushing the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And my name is Lamadia. And today it is going to be a message to brothers pretty much that just coming into the faith to pretty much stay into the basics, because the basics are the fundamental of the scriptures, and you need a fundamental of the scriptures to build, because that's the fundamentals are the foundation, and from that foundation you grow by, because you got brothers that come in and they want to be able to break down the deep breakdowns of Daniel and the deep breakdowns of the book of Revelations, but not even able to break down Isaiah 14 and 2. So you gotta pace yourself. Scriptures say that time and chance happen to all men. You just gotta be patient. If it be the Lord's will to reveal to you the deep things, it be the Lord's will, but you gotta start from somewhere, and that's the basics. So this video is pretty much going to be focused on sticking to the basics. Now, the first scripture I'm going to start with is Isaiah 25 and 26. And it says, hast thou found honey? Eat so much as is sufficient for thee, lest thou be filled therewith and vomit it. Now, what is the honey? The honey are these scriptures. You found the truth and you digested it, because now too much consumption of honey based on person tolerance, it could get a person sick. A person that's not too tolerant to honey, that's not used to eating honey, what's gonna happen? You're gonna get sick. You're gonna get sick, because now a person will come in and he'll go into the basic, but he also want to know the deep things at the same time. And he want to dove into different things that's too deep for him. And what end up happening, he gets bugged out and get messed up in the head. And everything he learned, everything he was taught, he end up throwing up and vomiting, the things he was learned and the bullshit he got in with it. So when he vomit, everything goes out with it. So he becomes confused. That's why scripture says, hast thou found honey? Eat so much as is sufficient for thee. You eat according, or you consume according to your tolerance. All right, which is the basics. Lest I be filled therewith and vomit it up, because now you try to ingest everything all at one time, and what happened? You end up regurgitating everything. And the word regurgitate means to flood out, and that's to like vomiting. Now, so all the basics, like the name of the Lord and Israel, the tribes, throwing up, and you start doubting everything you was taught, because you wanted to go deep instead of building a foundation. So from there, let's go to Ecclesiastes. I believe it's 9 and 11. All right, so all right, Ecclesiastes 9:11. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, no favor to men of skill, but time and chance happen to them all. And just quote that scripture. People said, but time and chance happened to them all. But let's go back to the beginning of the verse. So I returns and so under the sun, that the race is not to the swift. Now the race, when you come into the faith, you enter into a race. And it says, it's not to the swift. It's not about how fast you can run. The race is a race of endurance, continuing to the end. So it says, I returned so under the sun, that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong. Now David was able to take down Goliath to what? Through the faith of Yahweh Shah. David had faith that the Most High was going to protect Israel. So the Most High gave the battle to David, and he won that battle with Goliath. So it says, neither yet bread to the wise, nor riches to men of understanding, nor favor to men of skill, but time and chance have it to all men. So you just got to be patient. Just got to be patient. Learn the craft, learn the basics, and you grow from there. Now, if you use basketball as for example, you can't come in the game of basketball, just learn it, don't know anything about basketball, and you want to go on the basketball court, you want to do flashy passes, but you can't do a simple chest pass or a simple bounce pass or a simple dribble. You got to learn the fundamentals of the game first. And then from there you grow. And you become a player with handles, a player with flashy passes, flashy dunks. Those things come after with experience. And experience is not something you can purchase. Experience is something that happened over time through experience of learning. So now let's go from there to the Apocrypha. Ecclesiasticus 3:11, right? I'm sorry, 3:21. And it says, seek not out the things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength. Because you see that you got brothers that go out there and teach, and the first thing they want to do is go into the book of Revelation, book of Daniel. You got to go to the basics. You got to stick to the basics. Now, what happens if a person comes up and start questioning you and challenging you, and you're not able to break it down because those matters are too deep for you? You teach what you know and things that you're sure about. And over time, you start getting deeper. So Scripture says, seek out not things that are too hard for thee, neither search out the things that are above thy strength. Because a person that's been in it for 3 or 6 months, like the apostle would say, you're not gonna know as much a person that's been in it 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, or even 20, 30 years. You gotta experience. You gotta start experiencing more before you even get on that status. You gotta pace yourself, and that's another way how demons jump into your mind, because that's actually a proud demon, and then you start thinking, you start knowing more than the apostles and the elders that labor in this faith for over 20 to 30 years. You learn a little breakdown, you start thinking you're deeper than what you are. So from there, let me go to Hebrews, the 5th chapter, and I'm going to close up with Hebrews 5, the 5th chapter. And verse 12. Hebrews 5:12, and it says, for the time you have to be teachers, you have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of the Most High. And the oracles mean writing. So the first steps of being a teacher is you need to be taught, and that's why the Lord sent us apostles and elders for us to learn from. And it says, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principle of the oracles of the Most High. Because when you first come in this thing, you still have the little traits of the world. And you may learn certain scriptures in the world, but you learn like misconceptions of the Bible. So you got to unlearn everything you thought you do to actually get the real information, the true information. Now it says, and I'll become such as have need of milk. Because when you come into this faith, you beginning fresh as a newborn baby. And that baby needs nourishment. And the baby starts off with being nourished with milk. That's how the baby starts up. They have to go through his mother's breast milk. And then over time, it starts to be able to eat a little bit solid food, like such as applesauce, and then from applesauce, mashed potatoes, and then through the time you start eating meat. But these are all steps. Everything happened within its time. So it says, and I'll become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat. For everyone that uses milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe. For strong meat belong to them that are full of age, even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil. And that takes experience. You got to be in it for a time to experience things, to try out things. You can't just come in this thing just thinking you it. Now if you got that mind state, you better go on a fast and pray that the Most High take that spirit off you. Or else, the Most High gonna take that spirit from off you and you're gonna be back in the world. So I'm gonna close with that. I want to say all praise and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Until next time, Shalom.